The city was alive. A symphony of noise, a kaleidoscope of light. People rushed through their days, faces etched with dreams and worries. But tonight, the city would change. Tonight, the shadows held something sinister, something hungry. A young woman, Sarah, hurried home from work. Her headphones played a familiar tune, a fragile shield against the city's clamour. She didn't notice the man across the street, hidden in the shadows, watching. His face was a blank canvas, smooth and featureless. And as he watched Sarah, a chilling smile stretched across his non-existent lips. The morning news crackled with a horrifying story that sent shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. A man was found in his apartment, lifeless and cold. But it wasn't just the death that chilled the city to its core. It was something far more sinister. It was the absence of something fundamental, something that defined human identity. The man had no face. His visage was completely erased, leaving a blank canvas where his features should have been. Whispers of fear replaced the city's usual hum, spreading like wildfire through the streets. People avoided eye contact, suspicious of every stranger they passed. The police were baffled and had no leads. There was no forced entry, no signs of struggle. Just a man, erased from existence in the most literal sense. Sarah felt a shiver crawl down her spine as she read the news, her hands trembling with fear. A strange unease settled within her, a feeling that something terrible was unfolding, something that could not be easily explained or understood. Days bled into weeks, each sunrise greeted by news of another faceless victim. The city, once vibrant and full of life, now seemed to be drowning in a sea of dread and uncertainty. Every morning brought with it a fresh wave of anxiety as people wondered who would be next. The city was gripped by an invisible terror, a predator that could strike anyone, anywhere. It was as if a dark cloud had settled over the urban landscape, casting long shadows of fear and suspicion. No one felt safe, not even in the comfort of their own homes. The streets, once teeming with life, were now haunted by fear. The bustling markets and lively parks had turned into ghostly reminders of a time when people felt secure. Now they were empty, echoing with the silent footsteps of those too afraid to venture out. Sarah found herself constantly looking over her shoulder, her once comforting music replaced by the chilling silence of suspicion. Every shadow seemed to hide a potential threat, every stranger a possible danger. Her daily routine had become a gauntlet of anxiety. She started seeing them everywhere, the faceless ones, in reflections, in the corners of her vision, always lurking, always watching. Their presence was a constant, oppressive weight on her mind, lurking in the shadows, their empty gazes burning into her soul. It was as if they were waiting for the perfect moment to strike, to claim another victim. The fear was palpable, a living, breathing entity that fed on the city's collective anxiety. She knew she had to do something. The weight of inaction was too much to bear. She couldn't just sit back and watch as her city was consumed by this faceless terror. Someone had to pierce the veil of fear and uncover the truth behind the city's descent into madness. It was a daunting task, but Sarah felt a spark of determination ignite within her. She would find the answers, no matter the cost. Driven by a need for answers, Sarah immersed herself in the mystery. She scoured news reports, police files, anything that could offer a clue. The only commonality, the victims were chosen seemingly at random, their lives as different as night and day. One evening, while reviewing witness statements, a recurring phrase caught her eye. Several witnesses described a strange humming sound, a low, almost imperceptible vibration just before the victims disappeared. A cold dread washed over Sarah. This wasn't random, something was targeting specific individuals, but why? Armed with this newfound information, Sarah delved deeper. She discovered an urban legend about a forgotten entity, a being that consumed faces, stealing identities and leaving behind empty shells, a being known only as the Collector. One night, while walking home, Sarah felt a familiar chill. The air crackled with static, and that same low hum vibrated through her bones. She turned, her heart pounding, and there, standing across the street, was one of them. Its face, A swirling vortex of nothingness stared directly at her. Sarah froze, her breath caught in her throat. She could feel her heart pounding, each beat echoing in her ears like a drum. The air around her seemed to thicken, making it hard to breathe. The Faceless One took a step towards her, then another. Time seemed to stop. Every second felt like an eternity as the figure drew closer, its presence suffocating and inescapable. The city around her faded, the only reality the approaching horror and the bone-chilling hum that seemed to consume her. The once familiar streets now felt alien, twisted by the encroaching darkness, and then everything went black. The silence was deafening, a void that swallowed all hope and light. The city's descent into terror continued. Each corner, each alleyway seemed to whisper of the horrors lurking just out of sight. The Faceless Ones walked among the living, their numbers growing with each passing night. They moved silently, unnoticed by most, but their presence was felt by all. The Collector was building an army of the erased, and Sarah, she was just another lost soul, another victim of the unending nightmare. Sarah was gone, another face claimed by the darkness. Her existence erased, her memories consumed by the void, another empty vessel in a city of shadows. The city, once vibrant and full of life, now stood as a testament to the terror that had taken hold.